Hello and welcome. My name is Philippa and I am the understudy. Today we are going through some practice exercises or having a little quiz about secondary harmony function from Barron's AP Music Theory 3rd edition. Each question will be asked, you will be given about 5 seconds to think, and then the answer will be revealed with a slight explanation. So grab something to write down your answers and any notes that you want to make. If you need more time throughout, I highly recommend that you just pause the video and continue to thinking, because they will take more than 5 seconds most likely to figure out these answers. And if you have any questions, then just comment them then post them in the comments below, and I will do my best to answer them. That said, let's get right into it. Question 1. The correct spelling of the 5/7 over 5 chord in D minor is E, G, B flat, D, E, G sharp, B, D, A, C sharp, E, G, or D, F sharp, A, C. The correct answer is B. In the 5/7 over 5 in the key of D minor is E, G sharp, B, D. The temporary tonic is A major. The dominant of an A major chord is E, G sharp, B, D. Question 2. In B flat major, the temporary tonic indicated in the symbol 5, 6, 5 over 6 is D, F sharp, A, G, B flat, D, G, B, D, or F, A, C. Correct answer is B. In B flat major, the submedian triad is G, B flat, D. The temporary tonic of the progression, the dominant first inversion 7th chord to the submedian. Question 3. The appropriate Roman numeral chord symbols representing this progression in the key of D major is it A, B, C, or D? Correct answer is C. The chord progression represents the leading tone 7th chord in the key of E minor, which is the supertonic in D major. The chord is spelled D sharp, F sharp, A, C natural, with the F sharp in the bass. There are 2 accidentals in the chord. The D sharp is the leading tone in E minor, and C natural is diatonic to E minor but not to D major. Notice that the only difference between C and D is the inversion. Question 4. All of the following statements are true about the progression in about this progression seen here, are true except for which one? Is it A, it contains a fully diminished leading tone 7th chord? B, the temporary tonic is E minor? C, the secondary chord is in root position? Or D, the third of the E minor chord is doubled to avoid unequal fifths, diminished 5 to perfect fifth, between the bass and the tenor? Correct answer is C. The progression in D major is fully diminished 7th chord in its first inversion temporarily leading to the supertonic E, G, B. The resolution chord is in first inversion, doubling the third of the chord to avoid unequal fifths in the tenor. Because there are 3 resolutions, D sharp to E, C natural to B, and A to G, the only free agent is the F sharp. Question 5 to 11 also refer to this piece of music. Question 5. The E flat in the alto in measure 3 can best be described as A, a suspension, B, an accented passing tone, C, an upper neighbor, or D, an anticipation. Correct answer is A. The chord is a dominant followed by a dominant 7th. When analyzing something such as this, look at where the chord came from and where it is leading, not just the chord alone. The E flat is in the alto is a 4/3 suspension, and the F in the melody is a fifth of the chord. Question 6. Question 6. The temporary tonic in measure 6 is the A. Supertonic, B. Subdominant, C. Dominant, or D. Submediant. Correct answer is D. The temporary tonic is C, E flat, G, the submediant. Question 7. When comparing measures 1 to 4 and measures 5 to 8, all the following are true except A. The melodies are exactly the same. B. Measures 5 and 8 use different harmonizations of the same melody. C. Both phrases end with a perfect authentic cadence. Or D. There is an antecedent-consequent relationship. Correct answer, or the only not correct answer, is D. When comparing measures 1 to 4 and measure 5 to 8, we see that the melody is the same while the harmony is different, specifically in measure 6, which includes harmonization with a secondary harmonic function. Both phrases end with a perfect authentic cadence. Therefore, there is not an antecedent-consequent relationship. Question 8. Measures 1 to 8 might be considered A. Contrasting period, B. Reharmonized repeated phrase, C. Modulating period, or D. Repeated parallel period. The correct answer is B. Measures 1 to 8 form one 4-measure phrase repeated with a different harmonization on the repeat. Question 9. The chords marked 1 can best be described as, we have 4 different options here. We have A, which is in B flat major, B, which is also in B flat major. We have C and D, which are both in E flat major. Correct answer is D. The progression is a leading tone first inversion over the supertonic to the supertonic. The temporary tonic is F, A flat C, the supertonic, in the key of E flat major. The chromatic harmony is a diminished triad in first inversion. E natural, G to B flat with G in the bass. The accidental E natural in the alto voice is D re. Question 10. The chords marked 2 can best be described as, is it A, B, C, or D? Correct answer is A. The dominant 7 over dominant to the dominant is a very common cadential harmony because it is used to intensify the dominant chord. In this moment, it is all about the B flat, and what makes B flat stronger is using its leading tone, A natural. The chromatic pitches are Fi, So in the melody, harmonized with root position chords. Question 11. All of the following describe the chords marked 3, except we have A, which is a third inversion dominant 7th chord over the subdominant to the first inversion dominant subdominant. B, a dominant to tonic relationship in the key of the subdominant. C, a leading tone to tonic relationship in the key of the A flat major. Or D, a third inversion secondary dominant resulting to the temporary tonic of the A flat major. Correct answer is C. The progression in 3 is not a leading tone to tonic relationship. The chromatic chord is not diminished. It is a secondary dominant in third inversion. Therefore, the resolution chord must be in first inversion. In this case, it is a subdominant first inversion. Here we have a new piece of music. Question 12. What is the most accurate description of the first 2 phrases of this excerpt, measure 1 to 5 and 6 to 11? A. Both phrases modulate to B flat major. B. The first phrase ends with a half cadence using a secondary dominant, while the second phrase uses a common chord to modulate to B flat major. C. Both phrases end with a half cadence. D. Both phrases start with a tonic chord in E flat major. The first phrase ends on a half cadence and the second phrase modulates to B flat major. Correct answer is B. The first phrase ends with a half cadence using a secondary dominant, while the second phrase uses a common chord modulation to shift to B flat major and ends with a perfect authentic cadence. Both phrases start in the key of E flat major, the first phrase with the tonic and the second phrase with a dominant seventh. Phrase 1 ends with the temporary tonicization of B flat with the 5/5. Phrase 2 modulates to B flat using the E flat chord on beat 3, measure 8 as the pivot, and ends with a perfect authentic cadence. Question 13. The dominant seventh over the subdominant chord appears in what measure? Is it in measure 4, 6, 9, or 13? Correct answer is D, 13. The dominant seventh over the subdominant occurs in measures 12 and 13 and resolves to the subdominant chord. The chord is E flat, G, B flat, D flat. The seventh occurs on beat 4, which is the dominant seventh chord in the key of A flat major. The accidental D flat in the note is the note that signals the departure from the key of E flat. It is the chordal seventh resolving downward to the C in the tenor voice. This is a temporary tonicization as the phrase continues in E flat major, culminating in a perfect authentic cadence in measure 16. Question 14. The progression within the box, which we can see on measure 10 and measure 9 to 11, includes what type of non-chord tones? A 9/8 suspension, B, accented passing tone, C, chromatic lower neighbor, or D, both 9 to 8 and 4 to 3 suspension and an accented passing tone. Correct answer is D. The boxed area contains an accented passing tone, the B flat and the bass on beat 3 of measure 9, and both a 9/8 suspension, C to B flat, and a 4/3 suspension, B flat to A natural, in the alto in measure 10. Question 15. The Roman numeral chord analysis of the progression within this box would be: is it A, B, C, or D? Right answer is A. The Roman numeral chord analysis is first inversion seventh dominant chord to the tonic, to the dominant, to the tonic, because of the modulation to B flat major with the E flat major chord on beat 3 of measure 8. The conclusive cadence in B flat and the longer time in this tonality is why it would be considered a move to B flat and not just a temporary tonicization. And that's it for this part. Great work. Tell me how you did in the comment section, and if you have any questions, I will do my best to answer them. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.